One of the problems looking forward to celebrating Christmas in a month is that we often spend a lot of that time looking backward instead of forward. We zero in on past Christmases, trying to replicate the best of them. Without remembering such ideal celebrations, Christmas wouldn't have its proper meaning. Yet, considering it that it was more than 3 or 4 centuries before the feast of Christmas came into existence, that's not the way Jesus' earliest followers celebrated his entering their lives. They were never interested in just forming schmaltzy memories that they could conjure up every year. Of course, their images of him were different from our own. Given their Jewish background, once his disciples understood him to be the long-awaited Messiah, he was burdened with the baggage attached to that title. For instance, as we hear in today's Jeremiah passage, Jesus the Messiah will not only be the one bringing peace to the two Jewish nations of Israel and Judah, he'll also do whatever's just and right for everyone in the land, demonstrating, as a good Jew, how to have the proper relationships with God and those around us. In the earliest Christian writing we possess, 1 Thessalonians, Paul couldn't be clearer about those relationships. Having taken the unheard of step of permitting non-Jews to follow Jesus without first becoming Jews, the apostle can't encourage his Gentile converts to include Jewish laws and culture in their following of the risen Christ. He can only insist on forming just relationships with Jesus and others. He has no better prayer for his community than, quote, "May the Lord make you increase and abound in love for one another and for all, just as we have for you," end quote. Jesus in our lives makes all the difference in our lives. But his presence also changes the way we look at the future. Luke testifies to that phenomenon in today's Gospel, the well-known apocalyptic section of his Gospel. It's significant that this type of literature was the most frequently employed genre in religious writing shortly before and after Jesus' birth. Many would-be sacred authors spoke about the end of the world and the phenomena accompanying it, using esoteric, symbolic language to avoid being sued for breach of promise. Knowing how frequently the genre was utilized, it's amazing only 2 biblical books, Daniel and Revelation, plus a chapter in each of the Synoptic Gospels, were written in this style. In some sense, in today's passage, Luke is only informing his community about one thing. Though many people, not only Christians, are awaiting the world's imminent end, the evangelist only wants Jesus' followers to know that when it finally happens, Jesus will play an essential role. When this world as we know it goes down the tubes, followers of Jesus will experience, quote, "the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory," end quote. But Luke is convinced we can't go around with our heads in that cloud just waiting for Jesus' arrival. There's lots to do in the meantime. We can't sit on our hands taking bets on the time of the Parousia, nor risk becoming drowsy from carousing, drunkenness, and the anxieties of daily life. If the world as we know it is going to end with all these distressing signs, we've got to keep in shape. Else we'll get bowled over. Staying vigilant will be our main occupation. Jesus' first followers were always warned to get out of the past and appreciate the present and the future, no matter how comfortable and non-challenging their past was. Jesus' coming always means there's more to life than just memories.